Now, some of these people, are quite radiant and quite healthy, in leading their active and health conscious lifestyle. But there are others who, despite all of that, doing those same things, are chronically ill. So why does that happen, right? What makes the difference? If doing all of those things that are recommended by, our healthcare professionals and all of those things work for some, why don't they work for all? They should work for everybody, right? If it was just a matter of doing those things. Conversely, I think we probably all know people who have smoked for years, maybe drink quite a bit, pig out on, barbecue foods and fatty foods and processed foods. And maybe don't work out, maybe they don't get a lot of sleep, maybe they're couch potatoes, don't get all that much exercise, and yet they are healthy as can be. They don't have any health issues whatsoever, and they're happy and enjoying their lives, eating the foods they want to eat and doing the things they want to do. And they're not ill at all. Why does that happen? That shouldn't happen at all, should it? I mean, if all those things are bad for you, then these people should be suffering. But they're not. I'm not saying all of them, of course. But there certainly is clearly enough of those kinds of scenarios to suggest that something else is going on here. Nobody seems to want to look at it. Well, I won't say nobody. Somebody very much wanted to and did take a look at it. It's Dr. Lisa Rankin did, in fact, start asking herself these questions. And in her book, she shares how she came to this kind of awareness. The book, by the way, is called Mind Over Medicine by Dr. Lissa, Lissa Rankin, Rankin. And among the other things that she talks about in this book are placebo effects and how powerful they are, and how to use them or find different ways to use them. We've talked about the placebo effects and the nocebo effects. Placebo, of course, to recap, placebo effects are when your body heals itself with no real outside influence, no medicine, no actual medicine. You may be taking something that you think is helping, but it's nothing more than a sugar pill or something like that. Your body does the healing because it believes, it has a sense of wanting to get well. The nocebo effect is the opposite. It's how belief in illness, focusing on negativity and sadness, can make you sick. So we talked about both of those things. And so now she shares about how she came to understand that there's more going on here than just, doing the right, lifestyle type of things. She says she's come to believe that the purely physical, biochemical realm of illness, the part you can diagnose on lab tests, see on radiological studies, and explain in petri dishes under microscopes, the part of medicine, the part that benefits from diet, exercise, avoidance of toxins, and functional medicine's positive effects on the body, is only part of the equation. And she, emphasizes that it's a big part, but it's not the whole thing. And obviously it couldn't be. Otherwise you wouldn't have cases like I was just explaining. So she shares what happened when she began working at an integrative medicine practice in Marin County. That's in California, near San Francisco. And she had just left her conventional medicine practice and had joined this group of doctors. And she was very impressed by all the patients who were the most, she says, the most health-conscious people she'd ever had the privilege to serve. People who came to this center, they drank their daily green juice. Many ate vegan diets. They worked out with personal trainers. They got 8 hours of sleep. They took vitamins and other health supplements. And they saw other alternative types of healing, such as meditation and acupuncture and those sorts of things, and follow doctor's orders. But she noticed that some of these people, despite all of this, were sicker than ever. And that completely baffled her. Because everything she had learned in medical school told her that shouldn't be happening. So why were these healthy patients suffering? So she says that she ran tests on these people, and that sometimes she'd pick up something that, had been missed and that could be treated. But she found that more often than not, with these people who were, living these healthy lifestyles and still being sick, she wouldn't find anything, and she just couldn't fathom it. There was no biochemical explanation for why these patients didn't feel well. So she realized that the answer had to be somewhere else. And she began to talk to these patients and find out what it was that might be at the root of their illness. And what it was, she began to ask questions like, is there anything keeping you from being your most vital self? What do you think is holding you back? What do you love and celebrate about yourself? What do you appreciate about your life? Are you happy? Are you in a romantic relationship? Are you fulfilled at work? Those kinds of questions. Are you financially healthy? Or is money a stressor for you? And the answers she got gave her a lot of insight. And what she came to realize was that these patients were unhealthy not because of, biochemical issues or poor health habits, but because they were either lonely or sad, in bad relationships. They were working in a place that they didn't feel appreciated in and stressed them out. Their finances were freaking them out. Or they were just simply depressed. And she began to realize that a lot of this healing that they needed wasn't going to come from their lifestyle, from their diet or the medicines they took or the exercises they indulged in. It was going to come from a change of mind, which would lead to perhaps changes in their circumstances. And she came up with this list of things that she found were troubling for these patients, and that when they changed those things, their health improved dramatically. And she gives an example of someone she calls Marla, who ate a vegetarian diet, hiked and practiced yoga, competed in triathlons, took supplements, avoided alcohol, didn't smoke, didn't use drugs, but suffered from 4 different chronic health conditions. So, this Dr. Rankin, she did an intake form asking these questions to find out where Marla fit in this kind of situation. And it just happened to be that when she was in a place where she could relax, and she said she had a vacation home in Santa Fe, and whenever she went there, her symptoms disappeared. And finally, she, encouraged Marla to make that move, to move to Santa Fe. And her life changed, and her symptoms disappeared, all within 3 months of moving to this place in Santa Fe. And it turns out she also was in a relationship that was unhappy for her. So all of these things affect your body and affect whether you're healthy or not. And so these things she came up with are the things that will optimize your health. If you're feeling sick, or hopefully you're not feeling sick, but in order to avoid getting sick, these might be things that you'd want to keep in mind. Her list includes healthy relationships, like a strong network of family or friends, loved ones, or colleagues, and healthy, meaningful ways to spend your days. That involves, work that you find meaningful. Creativity, healthy, fully expressed creative life that allows your soul to sing its song. And a sense of connection to the sacred in life, a spiritual life. Healthy sexual life, freedom to explore yourself and explore fantasies. Healthy financial life, free of undue financial stress, which ensures the essential needs of your body are met. Then a healthy environment, of course, free of toxins. Healthy mental and emotional life. That means getting in touch with happiness and getting free of fear. And of course, the healthy lifestyle, the physical body, nutrition, exercise, sleep. So you can see that portion of it is only one part of it. There's a whole other aspect to it. Now, understandably, you can't always control all of these things, like your environment. I mean, wherever you happen to live, you may find yourself having to deal with toxins and other things, because just about everywhere in our culture there's some of that. You can stay away from and not live in places where there are a lot of natural disasters, but you never know when that's going to happen. So you can't always have control over all of these things. But I would say, and this is not what she talks about, at least not what I've seen yet, but what you do have control over is how you deal with those things, how you react to those things.